This video is brought to you by SVS Learn, where becoming a great illustrator starts. Let's get into it. Hey, I'm Jake from the School of Visual Storytelling. Now, if you're struggling with your illustration, if you're stuck, if you're frustrated, or if you're wondering why your progress feels so slow, I'm glad you found this video because I made it for you. Now, in this video, I'm going to share the hard truths about becoming an illustrator, the things that nobody really told me when I started down this path. You've probably wondered if you're actually cut out for this line of work. You've probably wondered if your art's improving fast enough, or even if it's good enough. Maybe you've actually started doubting yourself. Maybe you're doubting yourself because your sketchbook doesn't look like theirs, your favorite artist does, or because you've been working hard and it still feels like you're going in circles. And so that's exactly why I'm doing this video today. I'm going to share these truths, the ones a lot of people don't really think about or they avoid talking about, but they're the same truths that every working illustrator has had to learn. Some of them might sting a little, but they'll also help you move forward, because once you understand what's really holding you back, you can stop second guessing and start growing on purpose. So let's go with the first one. Okay, number one, your art probably stinks. And that's normal, okay? We at SVS Learn, we work with lots of up-and-coming illustrators. We do a monthly critique challenge, how to fix your art. And we see so-so art all the time, and we help people with it. And there's chances are that your art stinks just like some of these drawings that we get in this challenge as well. And it's not a criticism. I think of it as like a rite of passage. I've done crappy art as well in the past. I still feel like I do crappy art now. Everyone starts with awkward drawings. They have flat figures, they have stiff poses, they have weird values, they have strange proportions. You might do a drawing, you might hate it, but then you keep going. If your work looks bad to you, congratulations. What that means is you have taste. It means that your eyes are working faster than your hands. And that tension, that discomfort that you're feeling is the sign that you're actually headed in the right direction, okay? You can't skip your cringe era, right? That's where your skills are born. There's even a name for this kind of experience. It's called the Dunning-Kruger effect. And what happens is beginners often feel very confident at first. They feel like they're doing great and everything's coming to them naturally. But they feel that way not because they're good. They feel that way because they don't yet know what they don't know. And that's when the learning begins. When they start learning, oh my gosh, I actually don't know my values. I don't know proportions. Then the confidence starts to drop and you start to see where you still have to go. And it's this dip in like confidence and assuredness in your work. But that's not failure. That's a kind of growth, okay? So if you're doubting yourself right now, that's good. You've moved past the illusion of instant talent and you're into the reality of earning the skill, okay? This sort of cringe era that you're in, it's a milestone. It's not a mistake that you're in, so just keep going. Number two, creativity isn't enough. Discipline matters more, okay? This is the truth that really nobody wants to hear. The pros don't wait for inspiration. They build routines. They draw when it's boring. They draw when it's hard. They draw when they'd rather be doing anything else, okay? Discipline, it isn't glamorous, but it's actually what makes you dangerous as an artist. Every finished piece that you do sharpens your skills. Every sketch that you do pushes you forward. So if you're tired, if you're uninspired, if you're stuck, just draw anyway. That's how pros are made. Okay, number three, your tools don't matter as much as your mileage, all right? We love to believe that the right brush or that perfect app or the latest iPad is going to change everything for you and give you that look that you're going for. But they won't, not really, okay? Because what actually moves the needle, what actually makes you better isn't gear, it's reps. Okay, it's getting in there and doing those repetitions. It's how many drawings you finished. A cheap pencil and time will take you further than the fanciest tablet that you barely touch, right? So you got to understand that it's not like it's not like the Matrix. Skill isn't something you just download. It's something that you earn line by line, page by page, okay? Your gear isn't something that's holding you back. You might think, well, if I just had the right pen, then I could actually get better at art. What's holding you back is your lack of mileage. So use whatever you have, use it every day, finish more sketches, finish more drawings, finish more projects, fiddle around less with that stuff because, again, tools don't make the artist, practice does. Number four, Most of your favorite artists aren't better. They've just been doing it longer. These artists that you love, that you look at and just think that they're like incredibly talented, they aren't better than you. They've just been doing it a lot longer. They've drawn 1,000 hands when you've only drawn like 12 hands. So of course they're better. They've gone through the reps, but that doesn't mean that you're behind. It means that you're still becoming, okay? You could kind of look at comparison as like this poison, that every time you compare yourself to someone else, you're poisoning yourself a little bit. It doesn't always inspire. Sometimes it actually paralyzes you, okay? You can look at someone else's masterpiece and then suddenly your sketch doesn't feel like it's worth finishing because you're like, well, how am I ever going to get as good as that person? But you're not on their timeline. You're on your own timeline. So stop measuring your chapter 2 against someone else's chapter 20. Okay, compete only with yesterday's version of yourself. All right, draw, learn, then repeat. And that's the only thing that matters. Number 5, you will feel like quitting. That feeling doesn't mean you should. Okay, you're going to feel like quitting. That's not a weakness. That's actually a part of the work. There will be days, maybe even weeks, maybe even months, when the doubt creeps in and it quietly says to you, maybe I'm just not talented enough. But that feeling, that sort of fog of uncertainty that you find yourself in, it often shows up right when growth is about to happen, okay? So you can't really see the shift that's happening from inside of it, right? It's almost like it's something you see looking through the rearview mirror, right? Every artist hits that wall. I've hit it before. All of my favorite artists and my contemporaries and friends that I've had have hit that kind of wall, but we've all pushed through it. And it's not because it was easy that we pushed through it, but because it wasn't, right? It's because we've believed in a version of ourselves that we hadn't met yet. So if you've hit that sort of wall, just keep going. You're going to find a better place on the other side. All right, number 6, how you learn is more important than what you learn. It's easy to confuse motion with progress. You might be clicking through tutorials on YouTube, or you're absorbing drawing tips you found on Pinterest. And maybe you spend your day like chasing whatever looks impressive that day. Really, without structure, all you're doing is collecting fragments. And the truth is, real growth follows a path, not a pile of things that you've collected. It's kind of like, you're grasping at all these different bones and they're in this pile here, but you haven't like put them together to build like that dinosaur for the museum, right? And that's what you really need to do. You need to understand that this bone goes here, and then this one attaches here, and then this one attaches here, and then you've got, this beautiful like curriculum that you've built for yourself. So when you're thinking of it this way, you got to remember that fundamentals come first. So you got to learn gesture, you got to learn shape, volume, value, light and shadow. And then on top of that come the deeper layers, right? Like composition, storytelling, adding a little bit of your voice and style to it. So each skill builds upon the last, kind of like building, we're going to just keep running with these metaphors here, like building a house. If you skip the foundation, your house is going to crumble, right? So if you're serious about growing as an illustrator, don't just consume random like tutorial content. Build a system, follow a sequence, learn how to learn, because knowing where you're going is what's going to make your practice actually meaningful. All right, number 7, you need community. We romanticize the lone genius, the illustrator hunched over their desk, like chipping away at like the massive graphic novel, or doing the painting, right? And they're lit by the glow of inspiration, and they're going to like change the world from like total isolation and just unleash this, incredible project upon everybody. And everyone's going to be like, oh my gosh, where did this come from? But that's really not how most great work gets made. The truth is actually a lot simpler. It's quieter. It's more human. Artists grow faster when they're not alone, when they've found like a group of people who speak their same language of art that they're working on. They found people they can talk shop with, that they could trade feedback with. So in this scenario where you found a community, you're going to want to let someone else's eye sharpen your eye. And really the fastest way to level up isn't by locking yourself away. It's by joining a circle of people who are also climbing, who are like struggling, but who are also showing up every day. And that is where I have found most of my growth in my career, is finding these friends who are also taking on the creative life, and they're putting out incredible projects and we're talking about what's working and what isn't working. And I'm just absorbing all of that from them, and hopefully they're absorbing my creative energy as well. So don't wait for really this belonging, this community to find you. You got to go out and find it yourself. You got to go build it. And that's really like one of the big keys, I think, to leveling up as an illustrator. And 8, you're never going to be finished learning. And that's not a flaw in the process. It is the process. So no matter how far you go, there will always be more to learn. There's going to be another nuance to like understanding light and shadow. There's going to be a new way that you realize you could tell a story, with your artwork. There's going to be like a way you can make more expressive line work. Anything that you're working on now, you're going to find a better way to do it. And I don't want you to think of it as like a staircase that finally leads to a last step. It's more like a spiral staircase where you keep going in circles and you're coming back around to like the same location on the X and Y axis, but you're always leveling up on the Z axis. So every time you come back to that same side of the circle, you're at another level, a higher level than you were before. And that spiral staircase just keeps on going forever and ever. Okay. So if you're in this for life, you're going to expect to keep leveling up. And that should feel less exhausting. You might be thinking, at some point I just want to arrive. But don't think of it as exhausting. Think of it as exciting, okay? Don't go chasing for a finish line. I want you to chase growth, chase curiosity, chase the next version of yourself. Because the day you feel done is also the day you stop becoming an artist. All right, just to close this out here, you don't need to be perfect. You don't need to be persistent. That's the truth behind every illustrator you admire. They aren't talented. They're not lucky. But they're these people who have had this quiet, stubborn, like insistence that they keep going. Okay, they didn't wait until they were ready to put their work out there. They didn't wait till they were like ready to start their career. They just got going on it. Okay, so here's your challenge. I want you to pick up a pencil, not because, and do a drawing, not because this drawing is going to be your best, but just because it's going to be the next one. And the next one is always the one that gets you closer to clarity, closer to confidence, closer to the artist you're becoming. All right, so keep going. Now, if you're looking for a guided curriculum, if you're looking for community, if you're looking for mentors who can help you along in this process, both mentors who are learning along with you and also professionals who have been where you are now and are where you want to become, check out svslearn.com. We have 2 options for you, the illustration desk and the illustration studio. These are both designed for that exact purpose, for curriculum, for community, and for mentorship. What you're going to do is you're going to join in, you're going to find other artists who are like-minded, who are striving to excel, who are practicing every day, who are sharing their work, and you're going to be right there along with them. You're going to find a guided curriculum that does that thing where it teaches you step by step, so you're not spinning your wheels and you're not wasting time on stuff that you shouldn't be learning yet, because you have to like build this foundation first. And you're going to be able to submit work for feedback from artists or ask any question that you need and have a professional respond to you. Check out these options. It's a ridiculously good price for what's being offered here, but check it out. We'd love to have you in our community, and just go to svslearn.com. Thanks.